Hello, dear learners! Welcome to another episode of English 9 on Air. I am your teacher broadcaster for today from F. Bangoy National High School. Teacher Sel, are you all ready for our next lesson? But before that, remember 3 things. 1. You need to be in a learning area at home where there is less noise. 2. Prepare your learning materials, which include your pen, paper, and your self-learning module. And 3. Smile! So, sit comfortably and listen attentively as we go along with our new topic for today. At the end of this video, you are expected to identify the structures of zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional in English, and categorize the conditional sentences according to its type. Now that you already know what our objectives are, let us start by asking you this question. What if you win the lottery? What will you do with the money? For me, if I win the lottery, I will buy a car. How about you? Try to complete this sentence. If I win the lottery, I will... Interesting! Is there a possibility that this will happen in real life? Yes! Some of you will buy a car and even a house. Now, your answers are what we call conditionals. Today, we will all be learning about conditionals. We will get to know more of these and their different structures as we move on to this session. Conditionals tell us that an action happens because of another action, such as what will happen, what could happen, what we wish would happen, and what might have happened. Let us get through them one by one. Let's take a look at these sentences. If I win the lottery, I become rich. If I win the lottery, I will buy a car. If I won the lottery, I would buy a car. If I had won the lottery, I would have bought a car. Do they all mean the same? You're right, they don't. Though, they all use 2 clauses separated by a comma and they have the word if. They actually mean different from each other.
This time, I will show again the sentences presented a while ago. What else have you observed? Yes, very good observation. The verbs. Verbs are words that express actions. Also, verbs have tenses that show the time when the action is done. Notice that the verbs in each sentence differ in forms. These forms are called tenses. The first sentence follows the simple present tense. We use the base form of the verb if the subject is plural, and we add s to the verb if the subject is singular. The second sentence follows the simple future tense. We use will plus the base form of the verb. The third sentence follows the simple past tense. We use the past form of the verb. And lastly, the fourth sentence follows the past perfect tense form of the verb. We use had plus the past participle form of the verb. There are 4 types of conditional sentences. We have the zero conditional, the first conditional, the second conditional, and the third conditional. Let's get through them one by one, starting with the zero conditional. Zero conditional sentences express the idea that is always true. For example, if I win the lottery, I become rich. This statement expresses a general truth, and this is also the reason why it is called factual conditional. Also, zero conditional talks about habits or what we always do, like if I get hungry, I eat and drink. This is also the easiest conditional to remember because both verbs in the clauses are in the simple present tense. For you to remember easily, follow this formula. In the if clause, we have if plus the subject plus the simple present tense of the verb. And in the main clause or result clause, we have the subject plus the simple present tense of the verb. The next type of conditional is the first conditional. It refers to predictive conditional sentences. In a simpler definition, this conditional sentence is used to talk about things which might happen in the future. For example, if I win the lottery, I will buy a car. This tells us that it is possible that in the future, I win the lottery. And if that happens, as a result, I will probably buy a car. Normally, the condition of the if clause is expressed using the present tense as if plus the subject plus the present tense of the verb, while the result or the main clause is expressed using the simple future tense of the verb. We have the subject plus will plus the base form of the verb. Altogether, it follows this pattern. Moving on, we have the second conditional. This is used for unreal situations or imaginations, something which have not happened in the present and will not happen in the future. For example, if I won the lottery, I would buy a car. In this sentence, does it tell that I won the lottery? No, I am just imagining that I won the lottery. Am I really going to buy a car? No, because I did not actually win the lottery. It is an unreal situation. It is just an imagination. This conditional can be expressed by having if plus the subject plus the simple past form of the verb as your if clause. And the result or main clause uses subject plus would plus the base form of the verb. When they are put together, we'll have this. Also, a compound past tense like where to plus infinitive can also be used in this example. If it were to rain tomorrow, I would dance in the street. Finally, we have the third conditional. This is also known as the past unreal conditional. This is used to express impossible conditions in the past, which means that these conditions did not happen, but we wish they happened. This expresses more on probability or possibility in the past. For example, if I had won the lottery, I would have bought a car. In this situation, Did I really win? No. I'm talking about what could have happened in the past but did not, and what I would have done if that imaginary situation actually occurred. Remember, third conditional is used to imagine a different past, different from what has actually happened. This conditional can be expressed by having if plus the subject plus had plus the past participle of the verb as your if clause. And on the other, your main clause can be expressed as subject plus would plus have plus the past participle form of the verb. When joined together, it's going to be like this. You can also use this conditional when you want to express that you regret something that had already happened and you wish that the result was different.
To sum up the discussion about conditionals, let us try to look at this table. Let us check if you learned something in our lesson. Try this activity. Identify if the following sentences belong to zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, or third conditional. Are you up to the challenge? Let's start. Our first sentence is, if I study hard, I get high grades. Zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, or third conditional. Correct! This is zero conditional. Next sentence is, if the government releases another guideline about COVID-19, I will follow. Zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, or third conditional. Correct! This is first conditional. How about this sentence? If COVID-19 had not spread, we would have enjoyed our summer. Zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, or third conditional. You got it right! This is a third conditional sentence. Fourth sentence. If I followed her advice, I would be successful. Zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, or third conditional. Can you state your answers louder? Great! This sentence belongs to second conditional. Our last sentence is, if you heat ice, it melts. Zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, or third conditional. Perfect! This is a zero conditional sentence. Now, you have identified all sentences correctly. Congratulations! You are now ready to accomplish the activities in your module. So those were the 4 conditional sentences in English grammar. If you have some questions or clarifications about this topic, do not hesitate to contact your subject teacher in English. Now, let's wrap this video with a saying in mind. Learning English is easy and fun. Once again, this is your teacher broadcaster, Teacher Cell. We'll see each other again in the next episode of English 9 on Air. Happy learning!